away from the Prevention of Livestock and Produce Theft Bill 2023, a bill that seeks to curb the theft of livestock in the country. The National Assembly will be debating and considering the bill by Honorable Member for Suba, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, on the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2022. Let's now have a look at the provisions of this bill by Honorable Millie. And the principal object of the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2022 is to provide for the regulation of assisted reproductive technology to prohibit certain practices in connection with the assisted reproductive technology, to establish an assisted reproductive technology directorate, and to make the provisions in relation to child born of assisted reproductive technology processes and matters connected thereto to the assisted reproductive technology. The bill provides for the Assisted Reproductive Technology Directorate, including the functions of the directorate, the obligations of the national government, the obligations of the county governments, the composition of the directorate, and the experts and consultants. Part 3 of the bill, being clause 11 all the way to clause 19 of the bill, is providing for matters regulating prohibited activities, including the use of embryos, consent of parties without consent, circumstances for undertaking assisted reproductive technology, and circumstances under which assisted reproductive technology is precluded, the use of embryo in a woman, the gametes obtained from a minor, and the use of gametes. Clause 20 all the way to 32 is seeking to provide for matters regulating rights of parents to donors and children. This includes the use of sperm after the death of a man, the right to assisted reproductive technology, the rights to assisted reproductive technology service, the duties of the assisted reproductive technology expert, parties to a marriage, the rights that accrue to a child, surrogate motherhood, surrogacy agreements, termination of surrogacy agreements obligation under the surrogacy agreement, prohibition of sex selection, and the restriction on sale of human gametes and embryos, as well as prohibition of commercial artificial reproductive technology. The bill is also seeking to provide for matters access to information, including assisted reproductive technology register, provision of information by the directorate, minor not to be given information from the directorate, and the restriction on the disclosure of information. The bill is also seeking to regulate licensing. This includes the requirement for a license, application for a license, inspection of the premises before a license is issued, and the general conditions for licensing for storage of gametes, the grant of licenses, and the responsibilities of a supervisor, as well as the revocation of a license and application to the Cabinet Secretary for review, appeal to the High Court, and the temporary suspension of the license. On your screens, you can see members of the National Assembly speaking in low tones or consulting among themselves. at exactly 15 minutes past the appointed time of the business of the National Assembly. We'll be getting to understand why the business has taken some time to commence. But as we await for the chamber to commence business, the bill that has elicited mixed reactions from members of the National Assembly on the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill. That seeks to regulate the assisted reproductive sector in the country through the introduction of the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill of the year 2022, that upon the passage of the motion number 8 on the order paper this morning, the House will be proceeding to consider the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bills number 61 of the year 2022. Some of the clauses that had not been considered by the committee, as the member for Homa Bay Town was not present during the time when the House was considering some of the clauses, resolves issues of concern to the people, and further aware that the Higher Education Loans Board (HELB) is mandated to provide financial support to Kenyans pursuing higher education through loans, bursaries, scholarships, and noting that students enrolled at the Kenya Medical Training College KMTC currently total approximately 70,000 students, with 30,000 of these having joined the institution in the year 2024. The Member of Parliament from Balindiway is concerned that 40% of KMTC students' population require financial support, similar to that offered to students in other tertiary institutions such as the technical training institutions in the country, but are excluded from receiving HELB support, and appreciating that education funding plays a vital role in enhancing access to education in Kenya and hence boosting the economic growth of the country. The member is seeking to have the National Assembly have the government, through the Ministry of Education, facilitate the issuance of HELB loans to students at the Kenya Medical Training College. And if no funds are appropriated for the exercise, approval is hereby granted for the National Treasury to release funds amounting to not less than 1.5 billion shillings to the Higher Education Loans Board. This is pursuant to Article 223 of the Constitution for loans to KMTC students, and that such release be regulated through the third Supplementary Estimates 3 for the financial year 2024-2025. Our dear viewers, Article 223 of the Constitution allows the Treasury as well as the Executive to commit monies for some functions, and after the disbursement of the funds, seek the concurrence of the National Assembly on the same. And so the member of Balindiway is dwelling his motion or his request on the allocation of HELB to support KMTC students on Article 223 of the Constitution. The Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Gladys Boss, is currently in the House this morning. Allow me to hand over for this live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula, will be presiding over the business of the National Assembly. You can see him on your screens already, and the members are all upstanding, meaning the business of the National Assembly will be commencing now. Allow me to hand you over for this live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing.
Tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu. Tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tukuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell. Whips, get your members in.
One, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Order, members. Take your seats, Osoro. Raphael, take your seat, Baba. Honorable members, welcome to this morning's sitting. I've just come from ascending to 8 bills passed by this House. Congratulations to all of you who participated. It is the highest number of bills ever ascended together, including private members' bills by Owen Bayer, Roita Obo, Waithaka, and others. That's very good. I will invoke my authority understanding order number 1 and direct as follows: that the sitting of the House this morning is adjourned. We will have a sitting at 2:30 this afternoon, where the Speaker will give you some important communication. For now, the House stands adjourned and you will all be upstanding. Businesses lined up this morning, you bear with the leadership and yours truly. There will be an opportunity to prosecute those businesses later.
Well, that marks the end of this morning's sitting that has had the Speaker of